Hi everybody, welcome back to the 1952 Willys Willis Pickup project. If you're new to the channel and you haven't seen all the videos on the truck yet, I spent about 2 years going through the truck mechanically, got done with that. Now we're about 30% of the way through the rust repair, panel repair on the body parts. We got the two front fenders and the hood done. Now we're focusing on the bed. I just got it back from the Media Blaster. I'll give those guys a shout out because they do such a phenomenal job. It's Wagner Powder Coating in Emmett, Idaho. That's the same shop that powder coated the wheels on the Fordson Major and has already done quite a bit of media blasting for me already. You know, the primary focus of their shop is powder coating, but they're nice enough to do some media blasting for me from time to time as well. We've got 3 beds that we're working with, or 3 beds available to us. The original white one from the truck, the green one from the parts truck that we bought, which is the one that we're working with now, and then the reddish orange primered one that we bought before the green truck. The green bed that I'm about to show you is the best by far out of the 3 of them. But shortening the story here, it's way worse than I thought it was. You know, that's why we take these things all the way down to metal to see what's actually there and see what we have to work with. So I just want to show you this kind of piece by piece. This is the front of the bed. You know, the cab would be right here, and just like I said before, a lot of this bed is very good, but take a look at the face of this bed. Are all those bumps coming through on the camera? They must be. This is the worst section of rot on the whole bed, and I already have an idea how we're going to fix that. This front panel has never been severely corroded, severely rusted. It looks like it's pretty much intact. No heavy pitting or anything, but we just got, you know, 100 little dings and dents from God knows what. But that's going to be interesting to repair. Let's go around to this side because the sun's on it. This is the best side, and this particular section is the best section. It's not terrible, but we still have some highs in there that you can see. And then we get to this back section. You see all that right in there? Severely dented, I guess you could say, from the inside out. But again, no corrosion, no rot. We got a little crack there that we have to fix, and some other stuff here and there that needs to be fixed. But I'm looking at all these bumps right now. Let's go around to the dark side of the bed, dark side of the moon. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this one in the shade. No, not really. But this one is really quite bad over here. There's all kinds of highs and lows and bumps and you name it. This is where the spare tire hanger was mounted, and you can see at some point, I'm guessing that, you know, the spare tire wheel was here, and something may have fallen on it or gotten it hooked on something, and it just ripped the bed. And so that's what's going on here. It's an old repair. And up here and up here, and on the inside they just welded some steel stock to the top of it there to patch things together, and use some creative welding here. So it looks like on the bottom they did the same thing. That I'm honestly not so worried about. That's fixable, but it's just all these pock marks, or whatever you want to call them, that it's got me concerned. You can see on that bed on the inside, I think, what we were talking about. Here's a view of this one on the sunny side. You can see what we're dealing with there. And then there's the floor of the bed. You know, we've seen much worse than this as far as rust and rot and corrosion. There's only a couple spots here and there. It's mostly intact, but it's I'd say light to moderately pitted pretty much all over. And more importantly, it's very wavy in between the cross members of the bed. You can see they're clearly defined. You know, high spot right here, high spot right there, a high spot right there. We do make aftermarket parts for this, and this is in 2 pieces. There's a seam right there. You can see there's one piece here, and then another section here kind of split down the middle. because if I took a flat piece of sheet metal, I don't have the tooling to make this kind of stuff, you know. The only problem with buying the aftermarket stuff is that it's expensive. I'll have to check the website again, but I think it was like $800 per side for a new bed floor. So we're gonna have to think pretty hard about that if we want to spend that much money on the bed floor. I just don't think this one's going to turn out if we try to flip it over and say, you know, pound these valleys flat. It's still going to be all pockmarked and dented all over the other areas. So one way to fix all these pockmarks is to hit them one at a time with a hammer and dolly and flatten them out. This might be thicker gauge stuff than the fenders were, but it looks like maybe I can measure right there and know definitively. But I don't know how difficult this metal is going to be to move. So that's what we're going to try first, right on this piece here. I'm going to try to, you know, pick a small section and see if we can flatten out some of these pockmarks, see how much work it actually is. If it's something that's, you know, not going to take forever to do, then I think that's the best way to go. But on some of these sections that are just terrible, like this back here, it's not only pockmarked, but it's kind of wavy as well. We might be better off just to cut this whole section out and weld a flat piece of metal in. This section's okay, we can fix this, but again, in that back section, we might be ahead of the game just to cut that whole thing out, and maybe this front section too, with all those rips and prior weld fixes. Anyway, it's a little bit of a drag because this is going to be way more work than I thought it was going to be, but I'm not exactly sure how we're going to tackle this whole thing. It's going to be a big project just on its own. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to go work on that front section, the front of the bed, with a hammer and dolly and see if I can get any of those bumps to move and flatten out. And if I can, maybe we'll continue with that and we'll just take it one panel at a time, I guess. So that's after about 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half tops. And you can see it's starting to improve. It's quite a bit better than it was before. So yeah, I'm gonna spend another hour on this, and then I'll bring you back and we'll kind of decide what we want to do with the rest of this stuff. So another day has passed and I've been working on this entire face now. I've got about 5 hours into it total, maybe even a little bit under that, 4.5 to 5. I have pretty much reached the point of diminishing returns on this. It's really not worth the effort to keep going on it because it's pretty darn good, in my opinion. So now that we know we can actually move this metal and do an okay job at it, that kind of changes my perspective on the whole truck bed here. Before we move on to the next thing on the bed, I want to demonstrate for you how I fixed this front piece because I know I didn't show any of that on camera. It's just so labor intensive and time consuming, you're not going to want to see me hammering at something for 5 hours. So we're going to pick a spot over here. I've already got this one kind of in mind. These two bumps right here. And on the inside, right there. So this won't necessarily be a how-to video on these little bumps, but I just want to show you how I did it with the tools that I have. So this is the smallest body hammer that I own. It's pretty light. The head is only maybe the size of a quarter. And we are not going to use this. It's too dainty for these big bumps. So this is my larger hammer here. We've got a nice big face here. It's just a little bit convex on the surface, which is perfect. We don't want it to be perfectly flat, because if it is, we could put ding marks from the edges, right? And I also like the back side of this. It's a square section, and it's also a little bit convex. So I think I'm going to start with this because this has some weight to it, and those are some pretty significant bumps. So I'm going to put my dolly on the inside, on the back. I'm going to hold it off the back just slightly. We're going to knock these down. So now I've got those dents knocked down almost flush with the surface, not quite, but there's a low spot right here. So because I can get to the other side of here in the bed, I'm going to do basically the same thing. I'm going to move my hammer to the inside, put my dolly out here, and pop this section out a little bit. So that section popped out very nicely. Now we've got a little bit of a low right here. So we'll do the same thing right here. Now we can finish knocking down this dent right here. It's just a little bit proud. And I think at this point we're going to switch to the slapper, which is this type of a deal. Because we're close to having everything flush and flat, this is an easier tool for me to use, and it's better to use when you get down to this finesse work. So now you can see the areas that the slapper is hitting, but it's not hitting right there, and it's not hitting a little bit in there. That means those places are low. So we're going to use the slapper on the inside now to try to pop those out. That's not bad. There's a lot of stopping and feeling and sort of reevaluating as you go. And when I use the slapper, I'm putting the dolly directly against the metal in the back, versus with the hammer, I'm holding it off the metal just a little bit. Now we're getting close. This side's pretty good, but we still got to knock this dent down a little bit. So I'm going to switch back to the hammer. Actually, we're going to switch to the little dainty one for the moment. You can see the hammer starting to make contact in those low areas and flatten everything out, so that's good. That's not bad. A little bit high there maybe, but the next thing to do is get the sander and run the sander over it and see if the sander makes contact with the whole surface, because it'll show you where the highs and lows are. So you can see it's looking really nice right in here, a little bit low there, and just a hair low there. But this is the area that we got to work on the most. So we can do this two different ways. We can knock this part down just a little bit more with a slapper, or knock this part out from the inside. Let's try to work it out from the inside here. See, we got that to come up quite a bit, and it's just barely low right there, and it's actually not low over here anymore. So just going to work on this just a little bit more, and then we'll call this good. I worked on it about 10 to 15 minutes more off camera, and it's pretty much done now. It's pretty much right in there, I believe. Nice and flat. The areas around it still need work, but the part that we worked on is really nice. Yeah, our area is right about in there, and with the paint on it, you can see all the stuff around it that still needs work. So for areas like this that are just so terrible, I'm gonna have to think about that. I'd rather default to leaving, you know, the original metal there and fixing it if we can. So now I know that we can move the metal and come up with a decent result. That's really good to know that we have that to fall back on. But I'm just not sure what to do with these really bad areas yet. The area up there, I think I'm going to section this whole area with this big rip, and the stuff going on the inside, all down here, all the way to the floor. I think I might just section that whole area, just cut this whole part out and weld a new panel in. And then I think if I do that, I'll maybe reinforce the area either with some strapping, or maybe with a thicker piece of steel in there to accommodate the weight of the spare tire and wheel. So this video is more of a kind of a recon investigation type of a video. I just wanted to see what I could do with the hammer and dolly, and how bad the rest of it really is. I think I have a game plan now, more or less. So I'm gonna keep going on this, but again, I don't expect you guys to watch me pound on metal for 20 hours and, you know, fixing the rest of this bed. So I'll do most of this off camera, and I'll catch you on the next video. But do me a favor, leave a comment on what you think about the bed in general, and if you think I'm on the right track with the hammer and dolly, and then maybe sectioning some of the bad parts. I think that's probably the best way to go. And I think we're gonna have to replace the floor in this bed too, one way or another. But I'm still not sure about that. We have to remember too that this is just an old Jeep. We're not trying to win show car awards with this. We just want to make it look nice. So thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to leave a comment, check out the online store, and I hope to see everybody on the next video.